Wish TV, Indiana's only statewide TV news network. News 8 continues now.
What else is the llama famous for?
Well, llamas are very important to millions of people in South America.
Stay tuned. In just 30 seconds, WISH TV will present the official zoo opening festivities live from Washington Park.
Wish TV was there in 1964 when the Indianapolis Zoo opened in what is now called Washington Park, right near 30th and Keystone. The zoo, of course, has come a long way since those days when it featured mostly animals from North and South America, along with an Asian elephant, some kangaroos, and even some penguins. By the 1980s, it was time for the zoo to grow and move, becoming the first section to open of the new White River State Park. We all know that area now as a place for fun, music, and museums, but that journey was long, sometimes bumpy, and also tragic. We started this week's Wishtery in June 1988.
This is zoo preps for the 10th of June.
This day at the zoo is no day for horsing around or hanging out. This is crunch time. There's much to be done and little time to do it.
Of course, on the day before the grand opening, everybody has something to do, even if they don't know exactly what it is.
But why worry? The animals aren't. They're making sure everything's in place. After all, they are the real stars of this show. They'll have to stick their neck out to make sure opening day at the zoo is a big splash.
This zoo is for people, and it's about time we get around to opening it up so that you can get in and see it.
On June 11th, 1988, Wish TV covered the ribbon-cutting ceremony for the newest incarnation of the Indianapolis Zoo.
Hooray!
The first step in developing Indy's newest downtown destination, the White River State Park, which had been in the works by then for about a decade. For the rest of the area, especially on the side closer to downtown, there were plans aplenty, and they just kept changing.
And they say, hey, they're having an announcement about the White River State Park. We'd all go, I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
Good family fun. That's what Knott's Berry Farm said it wanted to sell. And the White River Park Commission wanted a major money-making developer who could help pull the entire 200-plus acres together for the first time since the project was suggested in the mid-'70s.
Knott's wants to show it's done its homework to prepare the designs for White River Park. But this is why park leaders are really here.
To build and to sculpt a powerful new skyline that well reflects the pride, the power, and the dignity of your great state of Indiana.
We knew it was going to be some grandiose plan, and we had seen plenty of those that just didn't happen.
Very soon, promises the White River Park Development Commission, bulldozers will begin digging holes for the new White River State Park Cultural Center and Future Park.
The Crystal Bridge would house a botanical garden and be a gathering space between the Family Entertainment Center and the new zoo.
So many great ideas.
Probably 98 or 100% no money. They couldn't get the financing.
But not enough dollars to go around, meaning more announcements and ever more changes.
A signature building, which had come to be known as the Crystal Building, will probably not be built due to funding restrictions, admits the commission.
I think to try and get some momentum, they hold a big news conference. But they don't really have their finances set yet.
This went on for years.
Epcot took 15 years. From inception till it opened, and it's still not completed. They're still working on it.
Weidman predicts White River State Park will be 80% finished by 1992 or 93.
And by the end of 1996, this is what the park should look like.
The park has been 15 years in the making, but with $20 million of the $34 million needed for the project, it looks like the park is going ahead.
I think they finally got more practical, and I think in 92, they finally realized this can be an asset for the city, but we got to figure out something that we can really build and really make happen.
It seemed like momentum was finally on the commission's side, that this thing was really going to come together, and then on September 11th, 1992.
911, what's your emergency?
Oh gosh, there's an airplane.
Airplane crashed at Arlington, we know. We got
No, 5 Points Road. 5 Points Road.
Yeah, it just fell out of the sky.
The Mitsubishi says, Roger, I'm off the ground, Greenwood, standing by for clearance to Columbus. There's an unintelligible noise, and there are several attempts by the controller to call for the Mitsubishi
without any response.
I would call that a collision course.
And I remember reporting live from the neighborhood where it came down.
Two planes collided over Southport as one was taking off and the other attempting to land at Greenwood Airport. 6 were killed, 2 others survived but were badly injured. No one on the ground was harmed despite the wreckage landing in a neighborhood.
Sometimes you're so stunned, you being the neighbor, the person living there, maybe couldn't quite imagine what had just happened because they had wreckage in their neighborhood that should have been going overhead.
When we found out who was on this plane, that was a devastating blow to the business community here and the city of Indianapolis, just because of the leadership that was involved.
Former Deputy Mayor Michael Carroll, banking executive and Olympian Frank McKinney, Lotto Director John Welliver, and White River State Park Commission Executive Director Robert Welch, along with the pilots of both planes, all killed.
They had been studying different parks and different areas to put together the White River State Park.
When you lose that much brain power at one time, I think there is a concern for what's next.
Yeah, you thought that would be it. They were really important people in the future of the city.
Dreams for a better city. Dreams for a better state. Dreams for a better country. And dreams for a better world.
The White River State Park dream did not die that day. The commission kept on. The State Museum and the NCAA headquarters were built. The IMAX opened, an amphitheater rocked, and a memorial to the fallen was installed on the banks of the White River in the heart of the park they loved.
Whenever I'm down there now, I like it. I like it a lot. But I'm almost always reminded of what was gonna be. Ultimately, the city's just had some wonderful people with great vision, and they make things happen.
And a very special shout out to photographer, editor Joy Hernandez, who put that entire piece together. So what a journey that was, of course, to go from a piece of land filled with industrial sites and mill buildings to a fun spot for some fresh air all over the course of about 2 decades. Now it feels like the White River State Park has just always been there. You can find more of this story and all of our previous 70th anniversary celebration installments on our website right now. Just scan that QR code right there on your screen. It'll take you to our website, wishtv.com.